Right folks, just wanted to do a quick video on this because there ain't much more left to do on it now, and I just wanted to show you what I've done. Basically this is my Terra Cresta conversion. It was originally an Omnicab, which I believe was some kind of multi-game system that was released well back in the day. It would have had basic things on like a Clown of Scramble, Space Invaders, a couple of other games on it. I originally had Terra Cresta in another Streets cabinet. But that Streets cabinet, a couple of you might have seen it at events, but unfortunately it died on me a couple of years ago. Well, the machine didn't die, but the state of the cabinet was terrible, and as it was moved around, eventually it worked its way apart. It was only held together by dowels and stuff, and as the glue and the dowels came apart, it just fell to pieces. So I ended up just completely ditching it. I couldn't use it for events, and it was a shame because I'd done up the marquee artwork and, you know, upgraded a few bits on it, but it eventually fell apart, and I really missed it. Our working men's club back in the day used to have this as an uprise. This is the first time I played this game, Terra Cresta, and I really missed it. Now I've got the one with the better sound on it, I believe. However, since I had the game, the sound slowly got quieter and quieter and quieter, and now all I'm left with is just some sound effects. Not all sound effects, some are missing, so I think the daughter board on the motherboard needs some work. But however, the game itself works well. Since I reseated some of the chips, it used to have bad graphics artifacts. The graphics artifacts have now gone away, so the graphics are perfect. The cabinet itself, what I've done is I've completely rebuilt the control panel from scratch. It's like a two-layer control panel. There's an underneath section with a big window cut out the middle that this bolts onto, and what I've done is I've taken the original Terra Cresta artwork and I've resized it to fit this size control panel rather than the big control panel it originally was. It used to originally fold over the front of the cabinet on the uprights with the start buttons on the front, so I've attempted to replicate that with this cabaret build. The cabinet itself is only 8.5 inches interior width, so this fits just perfectly. I've respaced some of the original art because some of the original art is actually misaligned and it looked a bit naff. However, when I've actually come to put it all together, I'm still slightly off with my alignment, but it's good enough for this. The Terra Cresta marquee I'd originally reworked from a terrible scan. I've reworked it a second time to make the logo in its original profile, because on the one that I made, I had to compress it slightly. If I just come over here, you can see that I had to compress it slightly for that. So I redid it a second time, fixed a lot of the scratches, rebalanced the colours, and made the logo sit in its original tool profile. I had to re-piece together a lot of the raster elements, such as the side of the marquee here where it was completely damaged on the scan, and there isn't much art available online, so I've done okay with that. And I added a bit more of a star field higher up, moved the Nichibutsu logo from the fold over control panel overlay, and I've added it onto the front there, and I've drilled 2 player start buttons on the front there, just to get them off the control panel and make it a bit closer to the original full-size machine. The control panel now has a Lexan overlay, as you'd expect. A bit dusty here, I'll give it a clean. But I've just done it with a budget overlay. It's a high resolution print, but it does the job perfectly for a little cab like this. The most expensive part in the end was getting the artwork. That was the last thing I was waiting on, and I finally got it. I had to order it from a guy in Spain who'd taken one of the few last old stock of this artwork. Because obviously the cabinet, I think, originally was only really available as like a conversion kit. And he's reworked it, and it's come out beautifully. I've now taken a scan of this, so this can be reproduced in the future if I need to. But I had him resize it to fit this little cabaret cabinet. The cabaret cabinet only stands just under 5 foot tall, but this is the perfect plane. I mean, this is right in front of my face. This is a great plane angle. These kind of machines you would have played on a lot in the UK back in the day. It's still got the tasteless wood grain veneer on the sides. We've still got the original coin door. Well, the coin door that was on here had been modified into a bit naff, So I took the one off the streets cabinet, which is identically sized, moved it onto here. I had to move the entire guts from the streets cabinet into this because this had been converted into jammer, and it had a 16 one inside. That's actually the 16 one that was inside it. It's a great buy, don't get me wrong, but I completely reworked, stripped the interior out, took a few parts, bits of shelving. If I can just open it up, I can show you inside. Inside, I fitted a new speaker because the one wasn't working. I've routed all the wiring up. I've changed the alignment of the monitor. Unfortunately, this monitor chassis doesn't fit on the cage that was originally on the back of this bezel. It came with a non-working monitor, so I had to ditch that. So I thought, if I'm transferring the monitor, to make things simple, I might as well transfer the entire wiring loom. So I've got the Terra Cresta board mounted on the wall there. We've got the CPU from the streets cab moved over there. The isolation transformer for the monitors down the bottom. The original one's still there. I've put the second one in out of the streets cab. The coin door and everything's all wired back up. Not that I'm going to use it. The last thing to do, which you can't really see from here, but you can just see the marquee. I'll actually be remounting the marquee light that was in there. Wherever I've put it somewhere. There we go. I'll be remounting this marquee light behind there because it didn't originally have a light up marquee. This one was just a flat panel. And as soon as I get a chance to do that, the marquee will then light up when the cabinet lights up. I just need to adjust the horizontal amplitude coil on this, which is I need to do when it's turned off. I need to find it on this chassis first of all. And that will actually make it full size. You can't adjust the horizontal amplitude anymore using the pots, so I need to do it using the onboard controls. But yeah, it plays nicely. It's all working well. I've used new buttons and everything. I've used a reclaimed joystick off another build, and yeah, it's all fully playable. So I'll just quickly do a game just to show you if you've never played this before. Moon Cresta was the first game in this series. And on Moon Cresta, it was about the same era as Galaxian and that. So it was trying to cash in on the kind of space shooter era. What would actually happen on Moon Cresta is you'd have a single ship, and then when you die, you get a second ship, which would dock to yours and add more firepower. And then you on for your third life, you get three parts of your ship, and that will give you the most firepower. For this, obviously this is a few years later, you've got a docking system, but it's kind of fully controllable. This is a very, very hard game now, so I'm going to attempt to play it. Basically, the way it works, you can see on the control panel here, you collect the pieces of your ship, numbered 2, 3, 4, and 5. And once you get all 5 pieces of your ship turns into a flaming phoenix, which you're probably going to see on here actually. It's got the 4 pieces already, collect the 5, and when it regroups, it turns into the Phoenix. That makes you invincible for a short period of time, gives you lots of firepower, and when it fades, you've got loads of firepower. You can then split your ship up using the formation button, and then your ship can fly in formation, and it gives you, well, makes you pretty much indestructible apart from your main piece of your ship. So I'm going to start the game anyway, and try and play it one-handed. But this machine will be able to play at events again now, which is nice. I'll get to play it again, which I'm pleased about. Could do with a new bezel overlay screen. This one's a bit scratched, but I'll try and play this one-handed. You can see the music's missing, and the only sound effects I've got are explosions and some roars. I haven't got any shooting sound effects, I haven't got the music, and I'll find it almost impossible to play one-handed while trying to film, so sorry about that, but I'll try and get one piece of my ship at least. I'll try. Don't say I'll succeed, but I'll give it a go. And then I can show you how the modular system works. Trying to play this one-handed is so caggy-handed. Right, so here's the first personal ship appearing. Collect that. See, I've now got a 4-shot. And if I hit the formation button in just a second, you can see my ship splits into 2, and it gives you a lot more forward firepower. And you get so many transformations per piece that you collect. Collect the 3rd there, you can see it go. I've now got a reverse shot. I split the ship, I've got a multi-way shot, which is pretty cool. Sorry if it's a bit shaky. It's just the way I'm kind of holding it and trying to play at the same time. So, but that's Terra Cresta anyway. One of my favourite vertical shooters. Not everyone's, but I do love it. And again, another successful conversion. I'm really pleased with the way this has turned out. It's taken an otherwise dull cabaret cabinet and done something really smart with it, I think. Quite pleased with what I've done on it. And, you know, chips and dinks aside, I'm quite happy with those because it just kind of shows that it's been through the wars over the years, and I'm happy about that. I will get the board repaired at some point, but as long as it's playable at events you don't tend to notice. Working on another couple of conversions at the moment. I've got a Windfall video cabinet there, which has been fitted with a PC CRT, just so at least you've got the glass behind there, it looks okay. The monitor is already missing out of that. I'm just finishing that one up for a friend now. This here was another Windfall video cabinet. It's been part converted so far into Double Dragon 2. I've got the marquee in place. The game is in there and the monitor's been serviced, so that's working well. I'm waiting for the art to arrive for that one. Around here, I've got my Double Dragon cabinet that I previewed yesterday. I've got the marquee done for that. It's actually out at the moment because I need to do a new marquee light for it. But I've cut a new control panel for this. I've been playing on here through a Pandora because for some reason the game's not running properly. I think it's something to do with the 5-volt rail off the power supply needs dialing up a bit. I'll try that another day, but I just only had a few minutes today to just quickly get the art applied to this and do a quick video to show you where I'm up to with that. But yeah, quite pleased with this. So Terra Cresta, for all intents and purposes, now fully done. Hope you liked the video, and I'll show you some more soon.